Well, hi, my name's Douglas. Today I am going to be unboxing and setting up a Lenovo Enhanced Performance keyboard, a Lenovo Series 3 Mini Dock with the USB 3, and finally a Lenovo T530S, which is their new one in their T series, their new 15-inch model that's only been out for a little while. But first, what I'll do is I got the T530 because it had a nice big screen with a high resolution, which is something I liked because it's getting hard. It's actually quite hard, obviously, to find anything with a high resolution screen. I'll show you what I had before. What I had before was a Lenovo SM400. If you haven't seen one, this is it. It's a lovely computer, but it's just very old. It's about 3 years old, and I was going to replace it this year anyway, and these came out now, so I thought, why not? So that's what I have now. Got it when Vista first came out. It's a Core 2 Duo 2.4 GHz with 3 GB of RAM and a 320 GB hard drive, and the NVIDIA G105M graphics, which I think is just a rebadged 8600 GT. It works, but you know, things are faster and fancier now. So what I'll do is, I've got the 3 boxes here. We've got the keyboard, the dock, and finally the computer. We'll start with the least exciting thing first, the keyboard, and then I'll do the dock and finally the computer. I've actually opened up and looked at the keyboard and the dock because they came first, whereas the computer I haven't, because that came about half an hour ago. So let's get started then. Just move these down the way for us. Ooh, heavy. So the keyboard, stop the mouse. So I mean, the keyboard's nothing special. It's just a USB keyboard. So you get with it little cards if you don't speak English to replace up the top with the hotkeys. You have to cut those up yourself. A disc with manuals and a driver for it, and information about the CD and warranty information. We'll just put those aside for now because I won't need them quite yet. As for the keyboard itself, it comes in a box, funnily enough, in a little plastic bag. I mean, it's nothing special. It's got its QWERTY keys, you've got media control keys up the top here, you've got the ThinkVantage key there and a mute button there as well, and just some general hotkeys that I'm assuming you can reprogram. Also up the top there are a couple of USB ports, so it's a little bit of a USB hub as well, and as you would expect on a keyboard, little kick-out stands. Now, what it also comes with is a wrist rest. Just chuck that aside for now, which I will pull out. I think it's just a standard Lenovo wrist rest that they give you. It's soft touch plastic, and it just goes on the bottom and clicks on, like so, and you have a keyboard. I mean, it's a little bit soft. It just types like really any other Lenovo keyboard. I just wanted a new keyboard at the time because I bought a new mouse earlier this year because I wore out the scroll wheel on my old one, but the old keyboard I had worked fine. So that's the keyboard. We'll just let that sit there. Next is the dock. Next is the dock. Again, I've opened this one up as well. If you live in Australia or New Zealand, you'll get one of these attached to the accessory boxes. It's just basically the this guarantee contains things which cannot be excluded under Australian consumer law. That's my packing slip that will come on one of the boxes. Instructions for setting it up. If you live in Ukraine, that will be of relevance. I don't, so it's not. And safety information, read this first. I'm assuming this is just don't electrocute yourself, don't do stupid things, don't set it on fire, etc. So, we'll have a look at the dock. Now, if you get the port replicator, well, there's 3 ones. There's the port replicator, which is just a few ports. I don't think there's anything flash on it. Then there's the Mini Dock 3, the Series 3 with the USB 3, which is what I have. That comes with a power adapter. You can get the 90 watt or the 170 watt, and which has got some more ports. And then there's the Mini Dock Plus or Advanced, I can't remember which has, I think, 6 video outputs. A couple of DVI, a couple of DisplayPort, and I think a VGA or 2. This is just the middle of the range one. I wanted a dock as well because I have a lot of stuff that sits on my desk that needs to be unplugged and replugged every day. So this is the dock. You've got a power button there for when the computer's on to turn the computer on and off. That ejects it. Key so you can lock it and unlock it. So if it's locked you can't eject the computer. And you've got some ports on the back as well. Place to plug in your power, display port, DVI, a microphone, headphone, Ethernet. They're all USB, but that one's the USB 3. It's only got one USB 3 port, and the VGA. And a Kensington lock as well. That's the bottom of it, and they're the keys. So I'll take those off because I will possibly want to use them. And yes, now this works with the LNT series laptops. If you have an SL or an Edge, or it won't work. If you have a W series, I think you need to get the one with the 170 watt power adapter. And keys, they just go in there. So that's the dock. There's the power adapter for the dock. This is so that you've got a power adapter for your dock and a power adapter that you take walkies with you when you take it out and about, which I think is a pretty good idea. Now, the exciting part, the laptop itself. Just move these out of the way. That is on top of the actually happens behind the keyboard. Now I have my box cutter. So here we go. This is their new box as well, which I think is far prettier than their old one. Good, you can see the entire thing. A nice pretty red stripe. I imagine this will be similar to the T530 unboxing, so what can you do? So I got it with the Core i5. Actually, I can tell you what I got it with because I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Oh good lord, this is tiny. i5 with 8 gig of RAM, NVIDIA Optimus NVS 5400 with a gigabyte of memory, 500 gig hard drive. Oh, good lord, they've made this incredibly tiny. Well, and the Intel Centrino wireless, and possibly many other things as well. So, open it up. So, obviously being careful not to dig too far in case we slit something important, which that would be awkward. I don't think they would honour a return or a replacement if I accidentally cut the laptop open. Okay, so what have we got here? Ooh, shiny. So first we've got a box, which has in it the ship group, I believe they call, which is actually smaller than when I got my last one. It's just got, by looks of things, we'll open that up. It's got a manual, well not manual in it. Last time I got a manual and all sorts of other goodies, and they tried to sell me accessories and things. Regulatory notice and safety warranty and setup guide. I'll keep that one out just in case. And the regulatory guide I don't care about. And what else we got? Oh, a battery, which is important because without it I may as well just have a desk. This is just the 6-cell battery. I've had the 9-cell before in my SL400. It works pretty well. I still get about 3 hours out of it after 3 years of use, which isn't that bad. Little locky thing. I imagine though the one from my old laptop won't work in the new one. Now, what have we got here? Another power adapter. So this is the one I'll use when I take a walkabout. It's just standard. Depending on what country you live in, you'll get the appropriate plug. This being Australia, we get the Australian plug. And this is much the same as any other 90-watt Lenovo ThinkPad adapter. So I have now got 3 of them. Now, what else have we got in here? Well, I guess this leaves the beast. Oh, hello. Aren't you big? No running away. I'm starting to fall apart here. Okay, so the computer is in a plastic bag with a security seal. I haven't actually had this one from this big before. I must admit, this is also my first proper ThinkPad, and many people don't regard the SL series as being a proper ThinkPad. So, lovely. Now, I imagine the first step will be to put in the battery. And I'm correct. Install the battery pack. Certificate of authenticity for Windows is under there. There's very few labels on the bottom, which is a nice little cosmetic change. and everything is nice and accessible. We've got hard drive there, RAM there, and I imagine anything else would be fine. Also, just have a quick look around while we're here. We have express card, just a little one, memory card reader, Ultra Bay DVD burner, Ethernet, Kensington lock, always on USB 3 because it's yellow, power, that's where the battery will go, a heat vent, another heat vent, slightly bigger, mini display port, which will be an issue if you have anything with bigger display port or HDMI. You'll need to get adapters. I have HDMI for my second screen, which I'm still waiting on adapters for the dock and for this, and we have two USB 3 and just a vanilla USB 2. That's if you get the smart card option. I didn't because I don't use it, and the wireless switch. So I'll chuck the battery in and we can have a look at the inside. Okay, this is meant to be one-handed, but anyway. So 15.6 inch screen. What do we got? We have, just open that up, power button there, I'm believing, the black button, which used to be the ThinkPad button, mute microphone, volume controls and mute speakers. This is the new keyboard which many people have complained about even though they've never used it. It looks different. I guess I'll figure out whether or not I like it. Track point or nipple point, depending on what you want to call it, or pointing stick, buttons for the track point, the touchpad, which looks to be a little bit bigger than what I have, and buttons for the touchpad. I'm glad they didn't go for the click pad for this because I hate them, and I think many others would as well. And speakers along the side. So it's got a full HD screen, which I liked because I like high resolution things. Now I guess we'll put it all together. Now let's just close that up for now and put that aside. So I've actually got another power adapter which I'll use for now. I do need to give my desk a little bit of a bath, a bit of a clean, so when I do that then I'll switch the power adapters over. So where's my other power adapter? This makes a thrilling viewing, doesn't it? Power adapter. Like I said, I need to clean my desk, something shocking. That can go there. Now, one thing as well, if you have a 14-inch laptop or a small laptop, you need to move it there. If you have the 15, you need to move it there. But I would check on the bottom of the computer because it will say next to the little docking thing either 1 or 2. You probably can't really see it there, but it says next to the docking thing. If it says 1, it goes up the thing goes up the top. If it says 2, the thing goes down the bottom. So that now has electricity, which is good. I'll plug in the keyboard so I can set it up for you. There we go. Admittedly, I'm doing this, I'm not untying anything like 6 o'clock. My desk does shockingly need a clean. Mouse. I didn't buy a Lenovo mouse because I already have one that's a Microsoft one, which is quite nice. You probably saw me fiddling with it before I upload. Okay, so that's the dock done. Now we just need the computer, which is admittedly a bit thicker than I thought, but it's actually lighter than my current one, which is odd because it's bigger. But I was wanting a T420 or a 430, but this will do because it's nice and big with a lovely, glorious, high-resolution screen. Okay, this might be a problem. So, and that dock's in there, and battery's charging, little lights on there. You can open it up, and first boot. Oh, and it's got the Think Light as well. I didn't go for the backlit keyboard because I touch type, so it would therefore be useless to me. So we'll wait for this to boot up. It'll probably just be with standard Windows setup, so nothing too exciting. I didn't order any additional software options with it. I was wanting Windows 7 Premium, so Professional, but I ended up settling for Premium because it was about $200 extra. But I did upgrade to 64-bit Windows because I do have the 8 GB of memory. So So we'll do the preparing for first use. This also has the Lenovo Enhanced Experience 483, which is good, means it's been optimised for fastest boot up and whatnot. So while we wait for that to load, generally when you set them up, if you haven't set up a system from new before, they'll do a couple of restarts. Generally there'll be one straight after this, and then there'll be one after you've fed it all the information it wants to know. But that's, I'll let it do this, although sometimes they will just go straight into it. So while we wait for it to load, what else can I tell you about it? Yeah, I actually ordered this late Thursday night, not late last Thursday but Thursday before, and it shipped the following Monday, which I thought was pretty good. Okay, here we go. We live in, so already it's got a high DPI mode, Australia, US, Australia, English, Australia, US. Now I'm naming it Terek Nor. If you've watched Deep Space Nine before, you'll know what that is. If you haven't, Terek Nor was what Deep Space Nine, the TV series Star Trek Deep Space Nine, was named before the Cardassians took it over, before the Federation and Bajorans took it over. I just thought it was a cool name, and my tablet's the Defiant, and my phone, Zune is Empok Nor, which is a station similar to it, so I thought let's continue the theme. Just standard end user license agreements, ask me later. Yes, so it's actually 9:46. It's odd that it's oops, it's actually odd that it's out by that much. Skip. And so it's going to reboot the computer, restart the computer, and then it'll log me in for the first time. So actually, this is so the last ThinkPad I had was like the SL400. It came with, I got it with Vista Business. So I've never actually set one up properly with vanilla or a Lenovo Windows 7 image. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares. I mean, so far it hasn't been much different. I think Vista asked you a couple more questions, specifically what user icon you wanted and what wallpaper you wanted. Windows 7 dropped that anyway, so yes, loading, tra-la-la-la-la. Pardon me. So, preparing my computer for first use again. So this actually second screen I have is actually full HD as well, so it'll be a little bit odd because it will expect my other screen to be the same height, you know, so it will be odd when I'm moving windows. They'll pop up in different places to what I'm expecting, because my last one was only 1280 by 800. The SL400 was a 16 by 10 machine. I think they only went 16 by 9 in the X20s, so T530, T420S, I think the 410 and whatnot were also it. So it's actually quite a nice screen. One other thing I did make sure to get was the matte screen. I had a glossy screen last time and it was not fun. Whenever you're in the sun or had the light behind you, it was annoying. I actually travelled quite a bit. I live about 5 hours away from home in a car or a bus, and I usually will go home in a bus, and it was annoying having all the glare. So hopefully the matte screen will help with that. We don't have much time left, so I'll give a quick look around when it loads. First logon's always the slowest because it's got to create a new user profile for you, and we may get time for a quick look around, hopefully. If not, we will upload it in an if not, we'll upload in a separate video, which we may well have to do. So what I'll do is I'll end this one now. So this has been the unboxing of the keyboard, the dock and the computer, and we'll take a look at the software and whatnot when I come back in the next video.